Chapter 6. John's Birth and the Promise. The night Dory went into labor, the sky was heavy, like it too carried her pain. Thunder rolled low, the kind that sounds like grief remembering itself. The rain came slow at first, then angry, lashing against the tin roof of that small mud house. Jane ran around in panic, boiling water, fetching towels, whispering prayers she hadn't said in years. For once, there were no lectures, no scolding, no shame, only fear. Fear of losing her only child and the child within her child. Dory screamed. The world narrowed to that one sound, a cry from somewhere between pain and purpose. Her fingers dug into the mattress, her breath hitched, broke, and rebuilt itself. The midwife whispered, "Push, Mama, push!" And with a final cry, part agony, part defiance, the room filled with another sound. A cry, small, sharp, holy. For a moment, the rain stopped, and the world somehow listened. Jane looked at the newborn, red-faced, wrinkled, fists curled tight like he already knew life wouldn't be easy. Dory, drenched in sweat and tears, smiled weakly. Her lips trembled. "He's John." The name fell from her mouth like a prayer, soft but steady. Not Mike Jr., not anything fancy, just John. Simple, strong, human. Jane wanted to say something, but words failed her, so she just reached out, hesitant, unsure, and placed her palm on Dory's forehead. "Rest, child," she whispered. "You've done enough." Days passed. The air in the house changed. It no longer smelled of bitterness and unspoken rage, but milk, herbs, and new beginnings. The baby's cry became their new clock. Jane would rock him when Dory's body ached. Dory would watch them, her heart doing something strange, healing. Sometimes at night, when the baby slept, Jane would hum old lullabies, songs from her youth, before her marriage, before her disappointments. Dory would listen quietly, pretending to sleep. Those songs stitched something invisible between them, a fragile thread called forgiveness. But outside that little home, the world was still cruel. Villagers whispered. They called John Yul Mtoto Wamjini, the city girl's shame. Some wouldn't even let their kids play near the house. When Dory walked to the stream, women stared, lips twitching with judgment. She learned to stare back, chin high, heart armored. Still, it hurt. Every word, every side eye, every reminder that she didn't belong. She wanted to run, back to the city, back to the lights, back to the version of herself that hadn't yet been broken. But then she'd look at John, sleeping soundly, fingers curled around hers, and stay. Because he was worth staying for. A few months later, Miss Rose showed up at the village. She stepped out of a taxi, wearing a cream suit and that signature perfume that carried city power. The scent of people who didn't wait for life to be kind. Jane froze when she saw her. It had been over a year. Old tension rose between them like smoke. But Miss Rose wasn't here to fight. She looked at Dory, pale, thinner, eyes older than her age, and sighed. "My girl, you're coming home." Dory blinked. "Home?" "Back to me. Back to Dar. You've paid enough for your mistakes." Jane's face hardened. She needs her mother's guidance. Ms. Rose's reply came sharp. She needs her future, not a village graveyard of dreams. Silence. Dory's heart pounded between them like a referee in a war of love. She looked at both women, the one who birthed her and the one who had broken her, only to rebuild her again. She whispered, "Can I take him with me?" Jane nodded slowly. Then she reached for John, kissed his forehead, and held him close, whispering something only heaven could hear. "Be better than we were," she said. "The city looked different when Dory returned." Miss Rose helped her settle in, found her a small apartment behind her bakery, and even hired her part-time. Days were long, nights were longer, but Dory began to find rhythm again. The scent of bread, sugar, and baby lotion filled her world. Sometimes, when she baked late into the night, she'd whisper to John, "Someday, baby, you'll taste this and know it's not just cake. It's survival. It's Mama's story." Life didn't turn perfect overnight. Some scars didn't fade. They just learned to breathe with her. But with each sunrise, Dory grew stronger, wiser, softer in ways the world couldn't break again. One night, she stood by the window, looking at the sleeping city lights, and held John close. He stirred, eyes half open. She smiled. "I don't know what the future holds, my boy," she whispered. "But I promise you this, you'll never have to wonder if you were wanted." Miss Rose came in the room and sat beside Dory. "You'll go back to school. I'll take care of John." Dory hesitated. She looked at her mother, the one who had raised her, the one who had sent her away, and somehow the one still offering her a second chance. She nodded slowly. "Okay, Mama." And just like that, she began again, older, wiser, and carrying a scar the world couldn't see. But scars have stories, and hers was only beginning. And for the first time in years, Dory felt peace. Not the kind that forgets pain, but the kind that survives it. Chapter 7.